last 10 years, 367 young women in New York City were known to have died as a result of an abortion or an attempted one. Could we have saved 367 young women from dying if we had not imposed upon them our sense of morality and condemned them, and I insist on using the word condemned, to the butchery of the side streets of Harlem?
There are many who say that this bill is abortion on demand. I submit that we have abortion on demand in the state of New York right now. Any woman that wants an abortion can get one. And the real difference is how much money she has to spend. If she has $25, she has it done here under the most abominable circumstances. And if she doesn't have the $25, she can abort herself. And regretfully, this is happening more often than you or I like to admit.
And it is my firm hope that we defeat this bill, so unhumane and so unchristian.
I, as a woman, can speak with some feeling that perhaps only the other women in this chamber can, and that is the strong maternal drive that people have, and that it is only the anguish that leads them to these desperate situations, sir.
You
and
mentioned
I believe,
the question, Ms. Krupsack, when does life begin? Can you
Mr.
answer
Terry,
that question?
for me, life begins at the moment of conception, but I am here as a legislator, and I must represent and I have an obligation to give a hearing and recognition to the fact that that is not the same view of all people under all circumstances.
The final roll call showed a tie. As the Speaker of the House raised his gavel to announce the bill's defeat, George Michaels asked for the floor.
Mr. Speaker.
Michaels.
Assemblyman George Michaels represented a predominantly Roman Catholic district. His constituents expected him to vote against the bill, which he did.
I had hoped that this would never come to pass. I fully appreciate that this is the termination of my political career, but what's the use of getting elected or re-elected if you don't stand for something? I cannot, in good conscience, stand here and be the vote that defeats this bill. I therefore request you, Mr. Speaker, to change my negative vote to an affirmative vote.
George Michaels' vote did end his political career, but for thousands of women who lived in New York, and for those who could afford to travel there, abortion was now legal. The vote in New York laid the groundwork for the Supreme Court decision, Roe versus Wade.
We are not here to advocate abortion. We are here to advocate that the decision as to whether or not a particular woman will continue to carry or will terminate a pregnancy is a decision that should be made by that individual.
In 1973, when the Supreme Court reached its landmark decision in the case of Roe versus Wade, casualties declined dramatically.